What's going on, everybody? This is Hunter. I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. Today I'm going to be taking you on a tour of a pretty darn family-friendly travel trailer. It's the 2026 Tracer 295DB. And I've actually never recorded a Tracer. And the nice thing is for 2026 is they did a complete overhaul, a redo, a remake of their line. And today I'm down at Funtown RV's PDI facility doing this tour to you. So thank you for Funtown for opening up the doors, for that. But man, I'll tell you, this is a pretty darn special travel trailer. It is pretty darn cool. It's got a lot of uniqueness to it, a lot of things that I think you guys are going to really like. And if you don't mind, take a moment here, hit that like and subscribe for me for daily RV content, or drop a comment and say hello if you found any value in this. But right away, I remember seeing the Tracers last year at an event in September called Expo. And I remember looking at them and I thought that they were, they were pretty good. They just, kind of looked like everything else. I see travel trailers, kind of a dime a dozen in the industry. But man, when I saw this when I came here, I was like, but dang. I mean, they have upgraded and changed quite a few things. You have a solar charge controller with, I believe, 200 watts of solar up top. But I mean, look at the front. I love that black and gold. And then it switches to the white on the sides, so you don't get a lot of that extra heat from the darker appearance. But it just looks really slick. I mean, what do you guys think about that lighting structure? I also like how it's the one that doesn't stop right here. It goes all the way up and over. I think at night, that sucker would just shine up like justice. And then I started peeping through the rest of the floor plan, and I found a lot of really cool things you don't see everywhere, like a big drop frame in a travel trailer. Really, Brinkley's like one of the few that actually have it. And I mean, look at the pass-through storage on this. It is going to be up there with the top of the industry for pass-through storage in this size travel trailer. Now, the nice thing about this too is back in the back, it's got one of the more unique setups that I've seen for a bunk model for sure. And if you guys have been watching my videos, we have 4 kids at home, and I love having a dinette in that back bunk room. I think it's really cool for homework or for food. You can see no slide outs over here on this side, which is going to lead you with a little bit extra room for awnings, cornhole, setting up picnic tables, things like that. We're going to jump out inside, work our way around the outside, probably take about 15 minutes. But again, it's the 2025 Tracer 295DB, built for life, baby. And I actually think it's one of the few stickers that is actually telling the truth, because I think this is really suitable to the way that we like to live. We've been doing a lot of travel ball. My wife has opened up the hatches finally. We had a kid a couple of years ago, so we haven't been doing too much camping. And we're getting back into it. We're actually looking at little Class C, so when I'm traveling around doing my videos, I don't have to spend so much of our money down in hotels. But I just think a floor plan like this, obviously I'm not going to get it in a motorhome, would really work. The living room and kitchen combo, nothing too crazy. Whenever you have bunk rooms, you got to give up something, and it almost always comes out into this room. But I like how you have moving and grooving room in terms of space for the rainy days. You also get just enough countertop space to be dangerous. A little hidden pantry and a large 12-volt refrigerator right there. Your bedroom's back behind here, by the way. But I want to show you this back bunk room. The bathroom, we'll get back to that here in a moment. But even stuff like this, conducive to having kids. Tons of storage. It even comes with these little totes right there to stay nice and organized. I mean, you can organize just a whole bunch of snacks or whatever. But since it is a bunk room, it only makes sense. More storage over here to the left in kind of like a bookshelf style, which I think is really nice for like your folding clothes and things of that nature. So there's going to be 4 of those. But then, I mean, look at this. You have a couch that pulls out to probably make about a full-size bed. Not quite a queen, but a full-size bed right there. You also have a bunk bed of the 250-pound weight capacity. So even, maybe not me, because I'm a little bit of a roundy, but, your average adult can get up there no problem. But also pulls up and snaps in, so that way you can sit here and use this as a functional hangout space. You notice there is pretty good amount of floor space here as well because of that slide. A little emergency exit, so you can pull, push, and plop, get out in a hurry here in the back. But then you also have this dinette setup, which I think is pretty darn nice. Now, it does look like that should probably go up a little higher, I'm thinking. So there's probably a setting for that. Looks like it'd be a little cramped on your legs. But you do have... Let's see what's going on with this. Yeah, I mean, so I'm not even sitting in it right now. So something's going on with this. It's probably like an extension down there. So it's basically in sleeper mode right now. Lower it down a couple more inches. It's a great place for sleeping. Raise it up, and now you're doing some homework. But you do have some really good storage here up underneath with those little nubblies you can drop it on. TV backer, so you can plug it in. You could probably fit yourself about a 42-inch right there. And then the windows are nice too. I forgot to show it to you on the outside, but they use the gold reflective finish. So like the Alpha Wolf that I did, or the Arctic Wolf, you know, or any of the Cherokees, really, they all have that chrome. It's gonna be the same type thing. So 30% UV resistance, which I prefer those over just the tinted, because it helps keep some nosy eyes out, especially back in the kids' room, you know, as well. Not that people are going to be peeping in, but, you know, just keeping privacy, maybe when the shades aren't drawn. Right here is going to be the slide-out control, by the way, for the bunk room. The rest of your controls are right up here. I'll give you a closer look at that here in just a second. You have auto lights right in here, so this should flick on there for you. But you can obviously turn those on to stay on permanently if you would like. Plastic foot flush throne right there. You're also going to see the shower, which looks like it's going to be a 36 by 28, something like that. Enough room for me to fit in there here sideways, but you do have the kind of the extended U right there to give you a little bit more shoulder width. Probably about 6'3" into here, 6 foot, half an inch right there. And then you have places for, you know, your soaps and your shampoos, both right and over to your left. Now flip it around, you got yourself a little bit of a counter space, pert little mirror to show off the old bowling gun, baby. And then bada bing, bada boom. Put your toothpaste, your deodorant, and you're good, baby. Suburban on-demand hot water heater. So if you're not familiar with that, it's basically a propane-driven heating system for your tanks. So that way you can, you know, take showers, hot ones. All right, so this dinette, you can see the windows are pretty darn big. Both the windows over here. You got kind of the half Dracula, the full, maybe like 3/4 Dracula right there. So they get pretty darn dark. But the windows also open up. Gives you a really nice breeze, especially when you take into account across the way. You have another one, so a really good cross breeze is capable for this unit. But this will drop down to make some additional sleeping. And then you have another sofa with a jackknife bed here too as well. Flip it around, and this is going to be one of the things that they're so minor, but when they add up, they just mean a lot. Instead of having one of those chintzy little latches, they actually have this, which is pretty cool. You just twist, and now it opens. But that's not really all it is, because when we close it back up, I'll show it to you. It's pretty darn neat. But I mean, look at that. Board games, blankets, you know, all that stuff. And then when you close it up, you can see that, how it just, so now it's locked, and now it's latched. So it's pretty cool that it goes to like right there. And then it flips over the rest of the way. I don't know, pretty darn neat. I always find those things kind of interesting, how they innovate. Speaking of innovate, you have In a Flame, 4,777 BTUs of heat. Basically non-dork language. It'll heat the entirety of this room, no problemo, when it's about 40, 45 degrees or so. 12-volt refrigerator. You got enough room for maybe about 4 or 5 days if you're packing the full family, if they're, you know, anything like ours. Our kids are 2 going through puberty. And you know, I feel like they're just, man, sucking us dry with the eating. Sucking us dry with the eating. You go to McDonald's, or, you know, you got to order like 4 freaking large pizzas. Feed those behemoths. You got the stainless steel undermounted bowl with the high-rise faucet. Whoosh, 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 hitting those dishes from all angles. And you got yourself a little cleaning cup. Thermal wrap here for the countertops. So, babe, if you're watching, I love you. 3 top burner to whip up all the fixings. And then a convection air fryer microwave there too as well. And then there's going to be your fuse box. So if something isn't working, it'll glow up nice and red for you. You can see you got your storage right there. It's not going to be held up on struts. You'll just have to lift that up, but it is on the magnetic side. Awning slide controls. Again, remember the other slide was over against that wall. Here's going to be your other slide, along with your different lighting fixtures you can turn on and off. 2 ACs in this unit. I'll have to check to see if there's a third. I would imagine it's probably only 2. This is the 15K Furrion, it looks like. And it's also got the dump valve, but you can see it's also ducted in a straight track system. I mean, what do you guys think? You know, it's not the fanciest camper in the world. This isn't going to be the one that you're taking out, predominantly living in or anything like that. But I'll tell you, I work with, you know, there's not a lot of brands that just, I think, look this good at the price segment that I know this is going to be coming in. And again, you know, that link can be found down in the description as well. All right, so that doesn't lift up, but there is storage here up underneath again with those totes. Emergency exit, so pull, push, and plop. You can get out in a hurry. Outlet down on the floor. And then boom, baby. Some hanging room, overhead storage over there, and then right over here. Oh, that was nice. It's going to be on the soft close in here too, so, you know, pretty darn snazzy. Outlets and a shelf for your CPAP machines. And then you got your TV backer location right here, along with your outlets, your wine guard system. And then you have a really big closet here with washer and dryer prep as well. So pretty darn cool to have that. I think that about wraps it up here for the interior. I mean, what do you guys think? Again, it's the 2026 Tracer 295 dB. I don't know what that dB stands for. Maybe I'm thinking like dual bunks. It's got two bunks. All right, so all the specifications, length, height, tank sizes, awning sizes will be down in the description. Again, along with a link for Funtown RV for this unit. But I just love this front cap. You got the rock guard on the bottom, the lights going up the top. Again, with that gold and black. And I want to show you too here, because there's a window over on this side. There's going to be that kind of like that gold chrome look. You see how it has that gold tint to it. But that window, you know, is open right there, and it's hard to see through unless you're like really trying. It's pretty cool to have that mirrored reflective finish. That pass-through storage. I might as well show this over here. You got your disconnect for your solar. You also have your disconnect for the rest of your camper right there. Fresh connection, city water connection, and then your cable along with your low point drains. Again, that is going to be on that drop frame for the pass-through storage. Tire pressure monitoring system. So you can see that little yellow part right there. That's basically so when you're driving down the road, you don't have to worry about, you know, your tires overinflated or underinflated. It'll give you a little bit of a warning. You also have your power tongue jack, 2 propane tanks, and then a place where you can put 2 batteries there too as well. Power for the stabilizers. Shows off that aluminum frame construction. And then again, the awning going all the way across. You're also going to get outlet and cable along with a little place where you can hook up like a little spray port or something like that for, you know, some water access. And then you have your little bottle opener. So if you're somebody that likes to go down and crack a couple cold cans of apple juice, you are definitely able to do that. Back end of the on-demand hot water heater. Give you another little look here at that mirror. And then as you're coming around the back, you have a bumper with the spare tire. There's going to be the other control for the rear stabilizing jacks. And then it also is prepped for your rear observation camera, so that way you can see what's going on. In particular, it's prepped for the Furrion S Vision. But that's pretty darn nice, you know, so that way you can see what's going on behind you with some distance markers. I call it the argument stopper because it's got a one-way mic, so you guys can't yell at each other. One's got to listen, and one's just got to, you know, kind of do what they got to do. Right here, you can put on a slide topper if you would like. So it's a piece of awning that prevents debris from falling on top of it. I personally recommend them, but, you know, they do cost a little bit of money, but otherwise you just want to get up there, you know, clean them off, make sure everything's on the up and up. Black tank flush. So basically it's a sprinkler system for your poop tank. 50 amp control right there. Then you have your sewer outlet connection there too as well. Sewer outlet connection will be right on over here along with your fresh water and low point drains. And then we're kind of back over to where we were. But all right, guys, drop a comment and let me know what you think. Again, my name is Hunter. This is the 2026 Tracer 295 dB. See you. Rum dum body da bum shumpada bum rum pum pum bum rum pum 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 bum bada bum bada bum bada bum bada bum.